Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, Patriotic Front political leader Mickela Panday has questioned the government's decision to seek a 3-month extension of the state of emergency, arguing that the move coincides with growing public criticism and protest activity rather than solely efforts to combat crime. Exactly what I've been saying for days now. Citizens isn't PNM pushing this. These are normal citizens. Panday, as people always claiming Panday is PNM and whatever. It doesn't matter. I am not PNM. Well, I'm wearing a red jersey today. It doesn't matter. I'm not PNM. I will never support the PNM. But I've also been raising that alarm. In the video posted on social media, Panday said she did not believe the proposed extension was only about public safety and crime reduction, as the government has maintained. We all seeing that. Because if it was only about crime, she would have never prohibited people from being able to protest in strategic areas that the UNC have been using for years upon years now. But you see, only the UNC could do it. Now that she's in office, she's restricting other people from being able to protest in front of government buildings. She pointed to what she described as a sequence of events beginning on May 27th, when citizens protested outside the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. According to Panday, the government announced 15 no-protest zones on the same day, you know, people. And then you want to talk about is about crime. No, it's not about crime. You don't want people to be able to embarrass your government. That's exactly what is taking place. She said nurses, workers, trade unions, and other citizens subsequently became more vocal, including myself, in demanding answers from the government and questioned why lawmakers were being asked to approve another 3 months of emergency powers for the current before the current SOE expires on June 17th. The government says this is about crime. Let me ask you a simple question. Do you feel safer? Panday is asking this question. Do you feel safer? Has crime been defeated? No. Has fear disappeared from our community? She asked. I am answering again. No. Panday argued that if the emergency measures were effective, there should be no need for an extension. And if they were not effective, citizens should not be asked to surrender additional freedoms. Exactly. If they were going to be able to get things under control that they're talking about, they would have already done so, people. Stop allowing the government, stop allowing these political fanatics and activists online to deceive you. She also criticized comments made by Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Barry Padarath, the mouthpiece of the UNC, who she said suggested criticism of the government stemmed from hatred, racism, or prejudice. You see what's going on, people? The UNC now using the race card just like how PNM did. I'm telling you, everything in PNM's playbook is being used by the UNC now, even the race card. My Lord, boy. Panday rejected that claim, saying citizens had a democratic right to question government decisions, protest, and demand accountability. She's 100% correct. And there are a lot of times I haven't disagreed with Panday, Mickela Panday in the past. But she's correct. And why would I disagree with her right now? Just to oppose for opposing's sake, just like what the UNC activists and them doing online right now? Never. I care more about my country than politics. And my democracy, my democratic rights and politics. She accused the government of attempting to rewrite history by suggesting that citizens had not challenged political leaders in the previous years. Queen Kamala is lying about that as well. As example, she referred to protests led by oil fields workers trade union President General Ansel Roger outside the home of the then Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar in 2015. And demonstrations outside the homes of government officials, including former Prime Minister Keith Rowley in November 2024. So what Kamala talking about? The hypocrisy, I'm telling you. The hypocrisy amongst the online UNC activists is despicable. She argued that such demonstrations were accepted as legitimate forms of democratic expression at the time, and questioned why criticism was now being portrayed negatively. You know why? It's because people are full of hypocrisy in this world. It's disgusting what is taking place. I feel so ashamed. I feel so sad to see that the side that I've supported my entire adult life have become fanatics and hypocrites just like the PNM patriots who are obsessed with tribalism, it's very clear to me that both majority groups in Trinidad and Tobago are, in fact, obsessed with tribalism and loyalty to party. Party loyalty matters more than democracy and human rights here in Trinidad and Tobago. Now for some good news. And yes, people, as long as there's good news to report, I will continue to do so, even though I don't actually support the Kamla Prasad administration personally anymore. The Honorable Vandana Mohit, Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, recently visited residents of Point Fortin, where she presented a home repair grant to Mr. Martin Norija of Capdeville. The grant will assist with essential home repairs and improvements. Through targeted social support initiatives, the ministry remains committed to improving living conditions for citizens across Trinidad and Tobago. And you see, that's the thing about it. With the UNC, this is what usually I like about the UNC. They're people-centered. They develop infrastructure. They are good at reviving an economy, developing and improving the health sector, right? But it's all being overshadowed by Queen Kamla's autocratic and oppressive types of policies when it pertains to crime and controlling and prohibiting people from protesting. All the good that UNC does in general is being overshadowed by Queen Kamla. You see, the thing about it is, I consider UNC my party because I've voted for the UNC my entire adult life. And it was because of their people-centered policies. Policies that benefited all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago in the past. But now, a lot of Queen Kamla's policies are no longer people-centered. They are Kamla-centered and her inner circle.
Weather report for Trinidad and Tobago on Wednesday, June 10, 2026. The official forecast calls for fair to partly cloudy, slightly hazy, and at times breezy conditions with a high temperature of 30 degrees Celsius and a low of 25 degrees Celsius. Occasional morning showers will accompany cloudy spells. There is a 30% chance of an isolated heavy morning shower. The maximum heat index is expected to reach 34 degrees Celsius. Winds will blow from the ENE to ESE at 05 to 35 km per hour with potential gusting near any heavier showers. A mild concentration of Saharan dust is present in the atmosphere, so sensitive individuals should take necessary precautions. Sea conditions are forecast to be moderate in open waters. Waves will range from 1.5 meters to 2.0 meters in open waters and stay near 1.0 meters in sheltered areas. Sheltered regions may become occasionally choppy during showers. Swell waves will run between 0.5 meters to 1.0 meters with a swell period of 6 to 9 seconds. Sunrise is at 5:39 a.m. and sunset is at 6:25 p.m.
Regional news now. The Ministry of Education in Guyana will be distributing the $85,000 Because We Care cash grant on June 29th, 2026. The official launch was shared by the Minister of Education, Sonia Parag, during a school safety consultation in Region 5. Now you see, Irfan Ali is a leader who proves that even in these end times, you can vote for someone who genuinely seeks to serve their people or his people. Unlike our Kamala, who has gone rogue. She did well in the first term, but gone rogue now. This consolidated payout combines 3 separate budget 2026 student initiatives, an increased $60,000 cash grant, a $20,000 transportation allowance, and a $5,000 uniform voucher. Bringing it together, merging these funds gives families maximum flexibility when shopping for the new school year instead of having to go and get the grants separately. Every child enrolled in nursery, primary, and secondary levels at both public and private schools is eligible. Nursery, people. Wonderful. Distributing the money in midsummer gives parents ample time to buy textbooks, uniforms, and supplies well before September classes reopen. Additionally, this nationwide rollout acts as a major economic stimulus by injecting billions of dollars directly into local markets across all 10 administrative regions. But here in Trinidad and Tobago, they're setting to this tax people. The police in St. Catherine, Jamaica are investigating a break-in and robbery at the Bottles Research Station. Reports are that hoodlums, criminals, bandits, zessers as we call them in Trinidad, forcibly entered the facility between Sunday night and Monday morning. Checks reveal that entry was gained by breaking through a concrete section of a storeroom. Hey, but what do you use by sledgehammer? It is reported that equipment valued more than $800,000 was stolen. I hope justice is served. Capture the people alive, what if possible, please, police officers. No extrajudicial killings. Port officials in Barbados and across the Americas must embrace artificial intelligence and digital transformation as critical tools for building more resilient, efficient, and sustainable ports, according to Minister of Tourism and International Transport, Ian Gooding-Edghill. Yes, that's the positive aspect of AI. I use it as well when I'm producing my videos and stuff like that. I'm talking about like with the thumbnails and so forth. But nevertheless, I use it to an extent. But you could never, I just hope it doesn't reach a stage where we here in the Caribbean start cause it to replace human effort. It is so important to keep that human part aspect of it. It's really important. We should continue to dominate. Gooding-Edghill made the call while addressing delegates at the opening of the 14th regular meeting of the Inter-American Committee on Ports at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center on Monday under the theme, The Scope of Artificial Intelligence, Reshaping Strategies for Sustainable and Secure Ports.
The CIP is the primary hemispheric forum for port cooperation at its highest political level. This meeting, therefore, is one of fundamental importance, considering that our future depends in no small measure on the development of modern, resilient, and well-governed maritime gateways. For small islands and coastal states in particular, ports are not just peripheral assets. They serve as lifelines to sustain commerce, support tourism, and facilitate food and energy security, connecting people and economies, and are heavily dependent in response to any disruption or disaster. Forums such as this allow us to align our efforts, learn from each other, deepen solidarity, and advance practical cooperation across the Americas. This year's theme, The Scope of Artificial Intelligence, Reshaping Strategies for Sustainable and Secure Ports, is both timely and strategic. Digitization is no longer optional for ports seeking to remain competitive, efficient, secure, and sustainable. Artificial intelligence is opening new possibilities in planning cargo movement, safety, security, predictive maintenance, and decision-making. Yet, technology alone is not enough. The successful transformation of our port systems requires institutional readiness, sound governance, workforce development, and a clear commitment to ensuring that innovation remains people-centered and inclusive. As leaders and decision makers, we have a shared responsibility to ensure that the benefits of these advances are distributed broadly and fairly across our hemisphere. We must promote innovation while strengthening institutional capacity, improving policy frameworks, and safeguarding trust, security, and accountability. We must also ensure that no one is left behind in this transition. If we proceed with foresight and cooperation, we can build new port communities that are not only smarter, but also more resilient, more sustainable, and more responsive to evolving needs.
International news now. You are our future. Yes, the children are the future. I hope the rapture takes place before the children end up being so much of the future that we are no longer here. Lord, come soon, please. Melania Trump congratulated the first presidential AI challenge winners at the White House, calling the students the best of America. The contest brought together young innovators using AI to tackle real-world community challenges. Once again, as I said, AI is very useful. But we must still always continue to be the ones that dominate it, control it. Do not let it take us over and control us, people. Be very careful. Remember, at the end of the day, people, this whole AI thing is most likely going to be used, not most likely, will be used by the Antichrist during his 7-year reign.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the White House. What a beautiful group. Congratulations to our Presidential AI Challenge winners. It is wonderful to see this very impressive group of innovators at the White House today. I am proud that you represent the best of America. You are our future. Thank you to Secretaries Wright and Rollins for being here today. Your support of this program is a key to its ongoing success. I also want to recognize everyone who took part in this first AI contest. Students, educators, parents, and administrators. Yes, you could applaud.
President Trump says Iran's military is a complete and total mess. Much of it, like their Navy and Air Force, doesn't even exist anymore. They have been completely defeated. No, they haven't been completely defeated, Trump. Severely damaged or injured? Yes. Completely defeated? No. You need to finish the job and stop playing mind games with people. Iran is all talk and no action. Yes, you don't realize that. And yet they still want to continue talking with them. The bully of the Middle East is dead. No, they ain't dead yet. Badly wounded yet. Yes, but they ain't dead. They've taken too long to negotiate a deal that would have been great for them. Now they'll have to pay the price. You said that umpteen times. I waited. You will just go and do a couple of attacks and then withdraw again and try to bully Israel and tell Israel ceasefire. So you could go back and try to be the Antichrist again and make peace in the Middle East. Telling you, you're well under the control of the Antichrist. I don't know if you are the Antichrist though, but I definitely know you are forerunner. You display a whole lot of his qualities. My response, talk is cheap. Finish the job in Iran, President Trump. For the first time, American autonomous marine boat rescues soldiers. According to reports, an autonomous boat of the U.S. Navy saved the 2 crew members of an Apache helicopter that was shot down in the Strait of Hormuz. This is the first time such a mission has been carried out. It was reported that the autonomous boat belongs to the U.S. Navy's Task Force 59, the unit specializing in operating unmanned vehicles. So in other words, while you're going and trying to rescue people, you're not going to risk other people's lives. I find that is wonderful. The unit was established in 2021 and includes autonomous vehicles operating above and below the water surface. They're used for patrols and surveillance and are equipped with firing and communication systems. Some of the underwater vehicles are capable of traveling thousands of kilometers, while others are used for detecting naval mines or combat operations.
2 Peter 3:9-11 NIV. The Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, as some understand slowness. Instead he is patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. The day of the Lord will come like a thief, with the heavens disappearing, elements melting by fire, and the earth being laid bare. Given this, believers should live holy and godly lives.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's headline news. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.